Hello students, today I'm going to talk about a special novel written by a special writer, my favorite writer in India. The novel is The Guide and the writer is R.K. Narayan, the great Indo-Anglian writer of the 20th century. The Guide is a novel which was written in 1958, and it was written basically in English language. And the writer is a legendary Indo-Anglian writer R.K. Narayan. This novel brought the writer the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1960. And this novel was adapted into a movie in 1965, 5 years after the writer received the prestigious award. A major part of the guide is set in Malgudi, a fictional town in South India, and a part of it is in another small village, Mangal. The author has used cinematic technique of flashback and flash forward and montage in the plot of the story. Raju's presence in Malgudi is narrated by the author, while his past in Malgudi is narrated by Raju himself. Raju's presence in Mangal village is narrated by the writer, and his presence in Malgudi town is narrated by the protagonist, who is Raju himself. The two locales, two time frames and two narrators. Two locales, Malgudi and Mangal, two time frames, flashback and flash forward, and two narrators, Raju and the writer, create a great suspense. And make it a very interesting reading. The novel, The Guide, revolves around Raju, the protagonist, and his gradual transformation from one action to another, from one location to another. His transformation from a station food vendor to a tourist guide, and he also transforms into an emotional lover, a dancer's manager, a swindler, and you can say a saint also in the end. And he becomes a martyr. He ends up as a martyr. So he goes on changing his role, or you can say he is transformed from one role to another throughout the novel. And a question may be asked on this theme, Raju's transformation from one role to another. The novel begins on the outskirts of the quiet village of Malgudi, where a simple villager named Velan mistakes Raju, who has recently come out of jail, and he is resting at the ruins of a dilapidated temple near a river. And Velan mistakes him as a holy man. Velan is reverential towards Raju and tells him of the problems, his personal problems, that he is having trouble with a younger half sister, his younger half sister, who refuses to accept the marriage match he has arranged for her. Although Raju is disconcerted by the Valen's unwarranted respect for him, because he is taking rest, he has just come out of the jail, and he doesn't know why Valen is so much reverential about him. Raju doesn't like this kind of intruding by Valen. So Raju tries to, but still, okay, he is helping him, so Raju tries to help. After Valen brings his sister to visit Raju, the sister accepts the match arranged by her half-brother. Valen and his family credits this success to Raju. They think that it is because of Raju that this girl has accepted the proposal. Raju's success in pacifying Valen's rebellious half-sister leads the villagers to believe in his power as a holy man or a spiritual guide, as it happens everywhere in our society. Any Tom, Dick and Harry, by chance solves a problem of some person, and people flock to him, believing him to be a holy man with extraordinary powers. So this happened with Raju also. Raju, considering that he has nowhere to go, and that the offerings of food brought to him by the villagers on a daily basis, provide him with free nourishment, and so he decides to play the role that the villagers expect him to behave. Like he concedes himself to play the role of a sadhu. The villagers have given him the role of sadhu. He grows his beard and takes up residence in the temple by the river, all in a bid to play the role of a holy man. And he does so. He changes his disguise, he starts wearing saffron clothes, he grows beard, so that he may play the role of holy man more convincingly. Each day a congregation of villagers arrive to listen to his discourses on various topics. Now, he starts giving sermons to the villagers on various topics, different topics. But they were not philosophical. He was not so much philosophical regarding his sermons. He dealt with day-to-day problems. Although he often felt like an imposter, Raju continued with a false outward show. He started talking about the role of education, the habit. He asked the villagers to inculcate the habit of cleanliness or getting up early in the morning, working hard, these things. And villagers were happy to listen to him, and they were satisfied with his sermons. Thank you very much for listening to me attentively and watching the video with patience, with a great curiosity. And I hope that you will continue watching my videos on the same topic. The next video will cover the remaining part of this story, and listen to all the 4 parts of the introduction, of the summary of this story, so that you may have a grasp on the story, on the theme of the line of the story. Thank you very much for watching me attentively.